Good afternoon. I'm Landon with Merman Press. Today, we're going to get back to our roots, talk about some home security, okay? There are basic things everyone needs to understand about your home, okay? We know two things. We know there's the inside and there's the outside. Basic. So, if we think about this in zones, all right, I want to translate all of this into zones, and I want you to think about your house while I'm doing this. This is why I'm not going to draw it on my whiteboard today. Okay, I want you to think about your house. So inside your house, not just the dimensions of the rooms and where the doors are at, but where do you sleep? Where do your kids sleep? What room does your dog usually sleep in? Think of those things, because inside of your home, that is the thing we want defended the most. We want Fort Knox. Okay, we want Fort Knox on the outside of us while we are safe. So inside your home, the inside zone will be your windows, your doors, making sure everything's locked. All right, making sure your window screens aren't easy to take off, making sure your blinds are set right. Going back to my first video ever on this channel. Making sure that your alarm system is set for at home or away. Making sure your phones are charged. Things that help you save your life inside. Make sure your weapon's loaded and available. All right? I know if you got kids around, you can't just leave guns around. Carry it on you. Or have a solution that solves the safety issue with the children, okay? And teach your children about your firearms. Make sure the Louisville Slugger's behind the door, all right? Just making sure things are where they need to be. Inside zone, most important, all right? The zone outside, okay? The outside zone. Outside is the dimensions of your yard, your driveway, where you park your vehicles, all right? This is making sure your car is locked in the driveway outside the garage. This is making sure that the lights are working. This is making sure that your fence doesn't have a man-sized hole in it. Making sure that your neighbors know that your lights turn on when things move around so that they can see. Making sure that your neighbors know that you have a camera that looks across the street in case anything happens at their property. The outside zone is the second most important because it's the curtilage to your property, from the curb to the front door, from the back door to the woods, from the back door to the other woods, to your neighbor's house, everything between, all right? Those areas somebody has to cross to get to the most defendable area, okay? So we need to know those areas inside and out. It helps to know sizes of things. So if you see somebody walking through your yard and you know your mailbox is 3.5 feet tall and that mailbox comes to someone's nipples like me, that person is probably 5'5" to 5'9", okay? That's something basic to learn. It comes with time, and it comes with understanding your property. All right, understanding that your driveway is 7.5 feet across, 8 feet across, and that a very tall person can cross it in 2 steps and a short person can cross it in 3 steps. I know I'm getting off into really technical territory, but if all you're going to be doing is observing and reporting and not confronting people on your property, which is your prerogative, those things are the things that need to be readily available knowledge, okay, readily available. There is one more zone, the zone outside of the outside, all right? And we'll call this the open world, okay? The open world typically consists of things you don't need to be defending while dragging people you need to defend through those areas, right? Taking the family to the grocery store. I like to bring everything back to a grocery store. Everybody goes to the grocery store, all right? I don't care what grocery store you go to, all right? I don't care where your money situation is in life. If you're shopping for Wagyu beef or 50-cent hot dog, you go to the grocery store. Those people in those areas are doing the same thing most of the time. 99 times out of 100, they are doing the same thing you are. But that one time, you get the people who want to threaten your security and your safety outside of your domain, okay? And you don't have as much control over that domain as you might have at home. I say we drop back a little bit. Let's talk about the road. that goes past your driveway. All right, if you live in a neighborhood, your yard inside the curb, the street, and the sidewalk, those are your open world. Okay, noticing different people, knowing your neighborhood, knowing the ways of life for people. You know that your neighbor 5 doors down walks his dog past your house twice a day. Knowing that the lady right across the street from you is retired and stays home and knows everybody, right? She probably brought you brownies when you moved in, right, as a housewarming gift. That open world concept is so much more encompassing. I know the people in my house. I know how we lock it up. I know the dimensions of my yard. I know when the deer come through. I know the fattest squirrel in America runs across my roof at 9 o'clock every day. Okay? In the open world, I don't know how many people pass by my driveway. I do know, there's certain businesses around, and I know their trucks. I know kind of their work schedule. I know who's there. I know my down the road neighbors. I hear, I've passed them walking their dogs. I don't know them personally, but I've seen them walking their dog. I know these people. So if I see them walking around, it's not going to weird me out and heighten my sense of awareness for my home. If I go to my driveway and there's a car that I don't know parked just past my driveway, it's going to alert me to something maybe going on near my house that I need to be aware of. Seeing the ambulance down the street if you live in a neighborhood, right? Those things in the open world are going to pique your curiosity just because we're human, and it should also pique your security. That ambulance down the street, well, what if they're there for somebody who needs to be going to the hospital and that person goes running past my house? I might need to be looking out for somebody that has an IV sticking out of their arm trying to get away from the ambulance. They might be working a state trooper or a local constabulary has a car in a ditch near my house, and I need to be on the lookout for a drunk driver that ran away hiding underneath my pool shed. Know the zones to your home. Know them. And know them as good as you can. Start with the inside, right? Another example I bring up often on my channel is you know the inside of your house in the dark. You have bumped your pinky toe on that coffee table so many damn times, you can now sprint through your house in the middle of the night without hitting it. I mean, we all have our mistakes. Okay, we all forget sometimes, and it happens, but it's just those little reminders, right? The outside, you mow your grass. You tend to your fences. If you live in an apartment, the outside, you are more intimate with your neighbors, right? You don't have a yard. You know that the staircase going up to the second floor where you live, you know all the people on your landing. And you know that that landing is really tight. And you know that last year your neighbor said that somebody hid from the police on the 3rd floor and left something on your landing. Knowing those people, knowing the stories and the history of the area are just part of your outside, not your open world. Your open world is once you go down those stairs or up those stairs, outside of your front door. If you're in an apartment on the 1st floor and you have a patio, that is part of your outside. Knowing that, hey, that little gate doesn't really latch very good, but it does squeak when it opens. Those things are the things to keep in mind. So imagine your home, take a walk around, and what I tell people when I advise them, I through business and things, I have talked to people about home security, and they ask, like, hey, can you come look at my house and just tell me what I need? I say, one even better. You act like you're going to break into your house. Don't break a window, but go jostle something. See what you can reach from your feet without using the ladder that you keep outside. And then, if you can't reach anything, grab the ladder that you keep outside. Maybe that's something you need to now secure. You are going to be advancing up the ladder of awareness. So keep that stuff in mind, okay? So we went over your interior, your exterior, and the open world. Okay, and for all my hard chargers out there who watch, what I want you to do, we're making neighbors weapons, all right? Your neighbors are weapons, and I'm going to have a whole video about why we need to weaponize our neighbors eventually. If you go to my live on Instagram, Myrmidon_press, all lowercase, I talk often about how we weaponize our neighbors. It's not just America first at your house. It's neighborhood first. Take pride in your community. make friends with your neighbors. If you got to make a bunch of brownies, oh well, at least you'll have some extra laying around, okay? Make friends with your neighbors if you can. If you can't, learn who they are, learn what they do, okay? Neighbors are weapons and liabilities, but they are weapons. So go check out my Instagram, please. I just got done being banned on live for 47 days, so I'll be back on live once I get done filming this and get this uploaded. I'll probably go live. Pay attention to that. The Patreon's coming. I know it's been a couple months since I've talked with y'all. It's coming. I am trying to find the time to put content I think people deserve who are going to pay me for it on there. It feels weird, right? People paying me for my knowledge, but I want to make it worth every cent. If you pay me $1, by God, it's going to be worth $1. All right? So pay attention to that. It will come soon. I will announce that when. More videos are in the pipeline. Now that the weather's nice again and we can get out and be outside and I don't have to worry about feeding the dog and all the things, we're going to do it. We're going to have an interview with Pops soon. And I want to interview my grandfather again. That video wasn't a big hit, but it was good for me. All right? And I think it's important. So hug your families. Hug them. Find out what's killing you. Kick its ass. Stay safe.